pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 3, to approve today's agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to move item 3.
Second.
Motion to have a second. Questions or comments on today's agenda? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. Item 4 is to approve the previous meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move item 4.
Second.
Motion to have a second. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 4 carries. We have no drainage claims today. So item number 6 is to receive and place on file compensation board recommendations for fiscal year 2019 and 20.
Morning. Dale Stricker, I'm chairperson of the Webster County Compensation Board. First of all, I'd like to thank the board members for the time they put in getting these recommendations ready for you guys. As you know, the county is the 17th most populated county in the state, so we would like to have officers being the 17th most paid county officials in the state. The last 4 or 5 years, we've just been using the cost of living as recommendations for the salaries. This year, the board decided that they'd like to get the majority of the members of the elected officials as close to 17th as possible. Right now, they're rated anywhere from 15th to 25th. And the biggest jumps will probably be in the sheriff and the county attorney. The sheriff right now is rated 21st, and the county attorney is rated 25th. So our recommendations for 2019-2020 is supervisors at 39,000, the chairman at 40. The sheriff at 96, and the auditor, recorder, and treasurer at 70, and then of course the county attorney at 120. Any questions or anything?
Questions or comments? Thank you.
Zero.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to move item 6.
Second.
Motion to have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 6 carries. Item number 7 is to receive and place on file Webster County Treasurer Office appointment and salaries effective January 1st, 2019.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move item 7.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 7 carries. Item number 8 is to accept and place on file the hiring and employment of Rita Carlson, Clerk, Human Resources, Planning and Zoning full-time, effective January 21st, 2019, at the rate of $13.87 per hour for recommendation of Ted Vaughn, Human Resources.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to move item 8.
I second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments on item number 8? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 8 carries. Item number 9 is to accept and place on file the hiring and employment of Melissa Mendez, Clerk, Treasurer's Office, full-time, effective January 21st, 2019, at the rate of $13.87 per hour, per the recommendation of Brenda Engstrom, County Treasurer.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move item 9.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item number 10 is to accept and place on file the hiring and employment of Dalton Marsh, Assistant to County Engineer, Secondary Roads, full-time, effective January 28, 2019, at the rate of $27.50 per hour, per the recommendation of Randy Will, County Engineer.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to move item 10.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second on item number 10. Do we have any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item number 11 is to accept and place on file request for an hourly step increase for Crystal Lloyd, Clerk, Auditor's Office, from $18.92 to $20.16, effective January 21st, 2019, per the recommendation of Doreen Kleiner, County Auditor.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move item 11.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments on item number 11? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 11 carries. Item number 12 is to accept and place on file the request for an hourly step increase for Sarah Lewis, clerk, auditor's office, from $20.78 to $21.12, effective February 21st, 2019, per the recommendation of Doreen Kleiner, county auditor.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to move item 12.
A second?
Motion to have a second. Questions or comments on item number 12?
I just wanted to say on both those that Crystal and Sarah have been tremendous assets in the office and have done a great job, so they definitely deserve these.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item number 13 is to accept and place on file the hiring and employment of Ian Holcomb, corrections officer, part-time, effective January 16th, 2019, at the rate of $15.93 per hour, per the recommendation of Steve Elfritz, jail administrator.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move item 13.
Second.
Motion to have a second. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 13 carries. Item number 14 is to receive and place on file the semi-annual treasurer's report.
Good morning, I'm Brenda Engstrom, County Treasurer. The semi-annual report includes 46 fund balances from July 1st of 2018 to December 31st of 2018. A copy is available in the auditor's office and the treasurer's office if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brenda.
Do I have a motion to receive?
Mr. Chairman, I motion to move item 14.
Second?
Motion and a second. Thank you very much. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 14 carries. Item 15 is to receive and place on file the county recorder's report of fees collected.
Good morning, everyone. Lindsay Lafferty, Webster County Recorder. I just want to give a breakdown of the fees collected with the quarter ending December 31st of 2018. For recording fees and our surcharge, we collected $35,194.80. Xerox copies included $1,702. Document revenue stamps, transfer fees, our hunting and fishing, our boats, snowmobiles, and ATV licensing, all included $16,791.32. Vitals was $4,192 with a check, with a check cut to the county treasurer on January 4th for $57,880.12. Any questions?
Questions or comments? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move item 15.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item number 16 is to review and approve bids for new carpet in courthouse auditor's office.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to move item 16.
Aye. Second?
We have a motion and a second. Doreen?
So we have 3 bids that have been received. Carpet World was for, this was to be the, all of the office over there except the wall. And Carpet World was $3,545.35. Warren America was $3,880, and McGraw was $5,178.83.
Mr. Chairman, I amend my motion to approve the low bid of Carpet World, $3,545.35.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve to award the bid to Carpet World for $3,545.35. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 16 carries. Item number 17 is to review and approve a 2080 agreement with the City of Fort Dodge as a third party to the Fort Dodge Mitigation Bank to enforce site protections and provide the third party the resources necessary to enforce site protections.
20 Trotter, City Engineer for Fort Dodge. First, I'd like to thank the chairman and supervisors and all the county staff that's worked for this agreement. I believe it's going to be one of the biggest visual changes in our community in a long time. To give you a little bit of background, the city for some time has considered the fate of our 2 dams and has recently decided to take advantage of a Army Corps program in which if the city uses its own money to improve the river banks, fish passage and other improvements to the environment within the river, that we can gain credits. These credits can then be sold to other developers along the Des Moines River, and that Des Moines River load from Des Moines all the way up to the Iowa-Minnesota border. This agreement with the Army Corps of Engineers requires us to take on board an expert to help maintain the improvements in the river, which include what they call a J-hook, which is a structure that will be going out into the river to help push the water away from steep slopes and provide for fishing opportunities, along with what they call riparian buffer. That's native seeding along the banks that are exposed once the dams are removed. The city, in talking with Mr. Cosgrove, they've got the expertise to be able to help the city with help in maintaining that area, identifying when native or invasive species start growing back into that area, identifying where we may need to reseed or burn or do mowing. This, according to the agreement, the city will pay for those times where we require the help from the Conservation Board. Essentially, this agreement lasts for 7 years or until the city is done selling credits, whichever is longer. So we look forward to the partnership that we have, that we've established with Matt's group, and continue with this project as well. So.
Thanks, Tony. Matt Cosgrove, Conservation Director for Webster County, and the Conservation Board has reviewed this agreement and has recommended to this board to move forward with signing this to be part of the restoration efforts as these dams come out, to make sure that we are kind of overseeing and working with the city to make sure that we get those looking nice when they come back in, and make sure that the seedings occur and be that third party that they need as part of their agreement. So.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to move item 17.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the 2080 agreement with the city of Fort Dodge as a third party to the mitigation bank to enforce site protections and provide third-party resources necessary to enforce the site protections. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. I want to thank Mr. Trotter and Mr. Cosgrove. It's a great partnership. You guys have done a lot together, and I think this will be a great way to move forward on this. Item number 18 is the Webster County Agricultural Association presentation.
Hello, thank you. My name is Corey Krug. I'm the president of the Webster County Agricultural Association. That's a volunteer board of directors that manages your Webster County Fairgrounds. First off, we'd like to thank you for previous funding that you've received. The mission of that board is to work tirelessly to keep that fairgrounds updated so that our kids, our youth programs in 4-H and FFA have a place to display the hard projects and work that they do all year long, plus to bring a great event to the community. In last year, we did several upgrades. So we upgraded campground and building electrical systems in our sheep barn, added new campground facilities, upgraded bleachers, fence repairs, some new windows were put into some of the buildings, some new tables and chairs that were getting rusty and outdated. We upgraded the sound system under our grandstand area and installed a new registration booth for our contestants. Brought in a lot of new rock and stuff to try to keep the roads updated. Updated completely the east and west auditorium spaces, so if you've been in there, you've seen the new look to that. We've also added in some more mobile stage units so we can move some things around during our fair. We had to put a new AC unit in the east auditorium. And then the big project that we got done last year is we completely remodeled our main kitchen that's used by the 4-H kids, and so we're pretty proud of that one. We have several projects planned for next year. Just kind of guesstimating, they're close to $90,000 that we have planned, so we know those are pretty ambitious. We want to cement park shelters and sheep barns, tables and chairs, another sound system upgrade in the arena, and welcome signs, more camping spots on the north end, mobile announcing stand, and we need to put in a lot of fencing to help enclose our grandstand and free up more parking spaces. We have a lot of large-scale projects that are out there coming up, so our indoor arena and our auditorium that we just remodeled go way back to the 70s. Not much has been done since then. So we're hoping with partnerships to do an extension on the west. We need to update the interior ceiling in there, upgrade that bathroom and kitchen area. We're also hoping to bring in a new learning center. So this is something they're going to see at a lot of fairgrounds, where they're trying to just bring in more ag education. So that's what we're working on. And then our main auditorium, we're looking for additional ways to keep our equipment protected and secured. And a lot of the events we have need that full space. It comes with a few spaces in the county where you can really spread out for some of the bigger shows. With that, you want to talk a little bit about some of the economic impact of the Webster County Fairgrounds. So I have some representatives with us kind of scattered around. So I have Lori Grady, she is our board treasurer. I have Rebecca, she is on our fair planning committee. Scott Anderson, he is our vice president of the board. And Heather Stewart is also one of our board of directors. So this group, along with many others, has been working really hard to build the fair. If you were able to make it out to the fair last year, I hope you noticed a big difference compared to the years before. So we've been investing a lot of time and resources to make that happen. Part of the reason for that is just the draw of people that it brings in. So we continue to look at how can we bring more people into Webster County. A couple of the things that we have coming this year, so we're going to have some helicopter rides coming out. Big thing that we're really excited about is we got tiger shows that are going to run every day during the fair. So we really hope those things will bring people into the community. In addition to that, the fairgrounds is busy year-round. Pretty much every weekend there's something going on out there. Last year we had 30 single evening weekend events that took place. All of these events bring people from counties to attend, and organizational banquets as well. We had 8 single-day indoor rodeo events, a draft pony show, 2 dog shows, which are a very regional state event that brings in a lot of people from out of the state, 2 gun shows that are full weekend long, quilting shows and workshops, the Christian Motorcycle Club State Convention is at the fairgrounds, Good Sam's has a multi-state convention held at the fairgrounds. We run 11 flea markets and hillbilly sales. You've got vendors from all over that come in for that. And then, of course, our figure 8 racing also brings in several county contestants, and now we have them even calling about coming in from out of state for those. With that, the fairgrounds does about 1,100 nights of camping. So people coming in, whether it's recreational use, or part of the draw is that we have that camping and building facilities for these larger events. Outside of that, the fairgrounds is also used for our 4-H club and several project meetings. Without that space, they can't kind of perform their horse shows and practice some of their livestock and aerospace programs that they need that space for. If you didn't know, Iowa Central is also home to Webster County is also home to the Iowa Central rodeo program. So we partnered with them last year. They helped us with upgrading the horse barn, and then they built a new outdoor arena. So the goal that we had with the college is that that's going to help them attract more people, more students into that program, having a facility. They do a circuit with all the different neighboring states. Ours at the time was kind of down at the bottom. So that new facility has made them a premier location to have their rodeos. So I want to thank you for what you guys have supported us in the past. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? All right. Item number 19 is to adopt a resolution number 2019-2, updating the weight limit embargo on bridges.
Mr. Chairman, a motion to move on to the next one.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Randy Will, Webster County Engineer. On November 20th, 2018, you did approve a resolution at that time that would identify weight limit embargoes on 40 bridges. Since that time, we've had additional inspections completed, and we still have 40 bridges that need weight limit embargoes, but 5 of the 40 have to be lowered by various amounts. So that's the reason for today's resolution, is to approve the current latest inspected And I want to make a comment that the Webster County Engineers Office is trying to be aggressive, replacing these structures, and hopefully we have 3 bridges under contract now, and possibly by the end of March we'll let 2 or 3 more, and trying to get rid of some of these lower posted bridges. So it's a continual process, but we hope to be gaining on it. Any questions?
Questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Conrad, aye.
Campbell, aye. Thank you. It is now the citizens' opportunity to address this board with items not on the agenda. Board of Supervisor Committee reports.
Emergency management met last week and officially hired Dylan Haggins, so congratulations to Dylan, looking forward to working with him. That's all I have to say.
I'm going to House Night meeting this afternoon to talk about purchasing a new truck.
I went to the new officer training for the mental health region. There is 7 new board members on a 22-member board, so it was very energetic, good conversation. New officer training for elected officials starts tonight in Des Moines. So there will be some of the elected officials going down to that, be out of the office this week. And next week we start budget hearings. They are public, everybody is welcome. If you want to schedule for them, there is one available. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?